go, dude. Let's get salty.
It's high noon.
All rise, order and record. We're in private effing session, baby.
Extra private if I kick myself out again. So
Mikey, when you did that, I put a comment
Uh-huh.
on using the We Got a Case Court Watch channel, and it just rejected rejected it. It says YouTube rejected. It says, sorry, Mikey just went AWOL. We shall start soon. And it says YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit.
I don't know. Maybe they think AWOL is something completely different.
Maybe. That's interesting, to say the least. Shadow, good to see everybody. Mikey's had a really bad day, so let's not push his buttons today, okay? He has weapons. Day. He has weapons in his hands. There's
terrible day, kids. But that's all right. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. We got Wild Warming Wednesday later on. We got premieres happening across both channels. So it's a good day. Good day.
Only gets worse from here.
God, don't say that. Judge Simpson, everybody.
All right, well, that's good. I like that. The Honorable J. Cedric Simpson.
Going into his courtroom today. Hopefully things go well for him as compared as they were for me. Oh, look at a lot of leisure time here in the court.
He's
man-spreading right at her.
He's telling her exactly what he'd like to do.
Oh, there's Anne. Anne's such a sweet, sweet lady.
Apparently, and keep in mind that's me commenting as our channel. That's the channel.
It's got to be something new they did. Gotta be.
Or YouTube's watching the Watch channel.
Judge J. Cedric Simpson presiding.
Maybe see
Pam Butterfield.
Pam. By the way, Bailiff Swole is on vacation.
Oh, that's a shame. What am I supposed to look at? Oops, did I just say that out loud? Listen, Cedric's a little out of my age range. You know what I mean?
Yeah, slightly. By the way, that cop was really hitting on her.
He still is. He's getting her. See this? He's getting her IG or number, depending on which.
They're really taking their time coming in here today.
Yeah, and guys in the truck, can we slow down on the jumping around, please? Jesus Christ!
Somebody's got their finger on it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, all right. God, how many different angles do we have, Chronic?
we're having
seizure warning. Thank you.
Thank you. People's State of Michigan versus Thomas Styron II.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm accused on behalf of the club.
Sir, state your name, please.
I'm George Styron II.
All right. This date time set for preliminary examination. Mr. Styron, you are here representing yourself.
That's what I thought.
It would indicate to you that there are 3 charges on the complaint in this case. The first charge is that of fleeing a police officer under the Motor Vehicle Code
Chase.
In the 3rd degree. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years and a $1,000 fine plus court costs. Count 2 on the complaint alleges assaulting, resisting, and obstructing a police officer. That is a felony punishable or a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years incarceration and or a $2,000 fine plus court costs. Count 3 is a charge of driving while license suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine plus court costs. The subject matter of this preliminary examination is for the people to establish by probable cause that the felonies have been committed. If the people do establish that, then you would be what's called bound over to stand trial in the circuit court. You are here appearing without counsel. I would advise you that if you wish to represent or be represented by counsel, you can let the court know, and the court would make sure that counsel would be available to you in this proceeding. I would also indicate that if you are desirous of continuing to represent yourself, you certainly have an absolute and constitutional right to do so. You will be held to the same standard that attorneys are held to regarding the court rules, regarding the presentation of evidence.
Oh, he's going pro se.
Along those lines, as well as questioning of the witnesses. Do you understand all of that, sir?
I understand everything.
Pardon?
I understand everything.
Okay. And, sir, do you still wish to proceed unrepresented? Very good.
Chilly,
Do
Baltimore?
you have any questions before we begin the preliminary examination?
Going to
I
Baltimore
haven't had a
today.
chance to look at the body cam and the evidence. I just got a kite back yesterday.
See it.
I could ask the noon staff to be able to view this. I've got maybe 45 minutes or an hour's worth of time in it so far. Able to get through the first video
45 minutes, an hour into what?
to, I think there's 16 videos on the thumb drive. And I think Officer Hooks is an hour and 15 minutes long in itself. So what I'm saying is I've had insufficient time evidence to even review it, to be able to articulate it.
Excuse.
Your Honor, I understand that the APA that was present before me had intended to admit at some of the body camera. I will not be using any of it today. I'll be proceeding with just Sergeant Howe's testimony.
Yeah.
I guess and I understand that misuse, and I guess the only question would be if whether or not something contained on the body cam might lead to evidence that the defendant either would want to present or lead to evidence that the defendant may wish to question the deputy on. And I'm going to have no way of knowing that.
I appreciate that, Your Honor, especially because my office previously put on the record, and I'll reiterate today, we do plan on adding additional charges.
Look at the way he's looking at her. I'm telling you, he is interested. Mama, he's interested. Look at it. Mama, thank you. 10 bones, the way to get the day going, the no flirting in court express.
By the way,
Talking to you, Copper.
is he swiping right?
No, he does that on his off time when his new girlfriend's not right next to him.
Ah, thank you, Mama.
Squishy and moist today. That's concerning.
Depends.
Imagine being her sitting in court.
Of felonious assault, which assault with a dangerous weapon against the sergeant, and 2 counts of felony firearm, which are mandatory 2 years in prison. So, Your Honor, I don't have a problem if we need to adjourn this room to have more time with the video.
Okay. And under those circumstances, and I forgot
Exactly why he's got to pick up the ladies in court, kids.
Come on.
Sherry,
Workplace romance.
would you hit on her? I get it. I understand.
That's
I mentioned
understandable.
that before that with that.
Well, that's
Okay.
awkward.
So,
He's
Mr.
hitting on
Starr,
his daughter.
you're requesting an adjournment of the proceedings so you can get through that. Is that okay? How far? And I guess that was unclear. You have access to the body cam.
Yes, I do. It's in my property.
Okay. But then you were talking about you got through some of it.
The first video and
Welcome.
I believe
Welcome.
on YouTube and the Facebook video of a bystander.
Say that again.
Plus, thank you. Mark, thank you. Another is it $10 Wednesday?
God, I wish it was.
No, let's make it that. Let's make that a thing. Let's make it a thing. Oh.
Facebook video that somebody took,
Okay.
and part of his body cam, maybe 20 minutes, half hour's worth.
When you're saying his, you're saying
Officer Hooks, yes.
okay.
I believe his body cam footage is an hour and 15 minutes in its totality. So I've barely been able to scratch the surface of that.
Okay. Let me ask you. Go ahead. Were you going to say something else on that?
And like I said, I believe there's 15 or 16 videos in the total. Maybe more, and that's just what I was able to see.
Okay. So let me ask you this. How are you arranging to view that video?
That's good news.
Originally, I was kiting everybody I could. I was correctional services, this sergeant, that sergeant. Finally, while down in correctional services, I was able to speak with Sergeant Flint.
Okay.
And he was able to arrange this first meeting. And like I said, I got a kite back from him yesterday telling me just to bother the noon staff, and they'll arrange it during the noon shift. So
Gotcha.
Prior to yesterday, I was still asking. I guess I was asking the wrong shift. I was asking later in the day. That's for certain. And I really was never able to get anything else arranged as far as being able to go and do it.
Okay. So you were trying to do it one way. That wasn't happening.
That sounds terrible.
I got to.
Sounds like a Sublime
He
song.
indicated to you that it's the
One
noon
way.
staff you're supposed to bother to
Yeah.
try to. Okay.
Flint's definitely provided direction in regards to how I can go about getting this.
All right. Okay. So we'll need to then adjourn that.
So Vince knows of this dude.
Yeah, he's
not very
had
well behaved.
issues in the past. Yes, this is
So I'm surprised, Vince. The reason why I say that is how well Judge Cedric J. Simpson, how he is handling this, because he's very, very calm, cool, and actually being super nice to him. It seems
he's had to pound it into this kid over and over. I want to say he's got at least 2 contempts, I believe. If I'm wrong, Vince, let me know.
no, I think so. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, he's had, especially with this whole, I don't know if he's a sovereign citizen. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I know his whole pro se approach is going to be problems, I think, later on.
So what we're seeing is completely different from this.
Oh
dude.
God, yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Oh, Lisa, can we come and hang out? Oh,
That sounds so good.
You guys, the air conditioner just doesn't stop. I waited up last night just to try to get the house down to 74 properly.
It was 76 here most of the day. And
Ours, I think it was more like 80, even though I was saying like 78, even though it was set at 76 all day. And it just ran and ran and ran. Sticky Nicky. Welcome.
Have you? Well, I'm going to ask it one or two ways. How long do you think it'll take you to get through it? I mean, is it your, and I won't hold you directly to it, but I mean, would you be able to do it in one day if you had access to it, or is it going to take you a few days, or just your best guesses? Because you know how long the clips are. I don't have any idea by design.
I only have knowledge of how long his particular video is, Officer Hoops. I don't, the other ones I haven't looked at, viewed, can't remember how big the file is, nothing like that. If I was out in the world, I could probably have this done within a week at my house.
Very quickly. Listen, if I bump it up anymore, then it's just going to run on 78. It's just going to then just shut down. I don't know.
I just leave mine on 70 now and just let it run and run and run and run and run. It's going to be a $500 light bill.
I said to Emily, I said, be prepared. I'm telling you right now, we're not even in August yet. Just be prepared. It's going to be $400 or $500.
Last month, I paid extra on my bill last month because I knew it's going to be bad. I didn't want to be caught with my pants down.
What a great idea. Even though we just switched out the filter not long ago, I think I'm going to do that today. I'm going to actually run to Lowe's and get another, because I don't have any more anyways, just to see if that helps at all. But I mean, it makes me, the problem is that I hear it running. I hear it.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes me nuts. Ugh. We're barely over 100 a month, even with keeping it at 72. I mean, outside of real hot months, of course. But
mine was like 280, 290 last month.
Jesus Christ.
I have my own computer, and I planned on originally being able to do this.
Nice.
What a deal.
Also, it depends on the jail. They've been so short-staffed. We've been locked down a lot as well. So it depends on what their staffing numbers is during it. When I'm asking them to arrange this, there's
Fally.
so many variables. It'd be hard for me to give you a.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Then also,
but you don't know total You don't know total time how much there is.
And
You just know that one.
since May, I've been fighting an illness that just recently the jails addressed. So yeah, there's so many things going on. I've been since May. I've been having stomach issues, bowel issues, and on Friday or Saturday I was urinating blood.
Yeah. Ouch.
The medical staff to do something with that as far as me urinating the cup and then give me some type of antibiotics, but all they can tell me is I have an infection. They just don't know.
Yeah, no shit.
What type of infection. So I'm also dealing with that and it's making me very lethargic and
Okay, I got you.
energy in that.
What do we
That as well.
What do we look like on the 6th?
Creed, have you ever peed blood?
No, not that I know of.
Oh my God, I don't know if I could ever use the bathroom again.
It's a day off today. I got stuff in the morning, but then
Oh my gosh. That sounds terrible.
on the 6th.
Flusher.
So far,
Probably do really good views wise.
2 and
He likes rabbits and moles.
But if I set this at 1, the expungement should set this at 2.
As of right now, there's no expungements actually scheduled.
Ooh.
Got it. Okay.
He's such a dick, boss.
I nearly died.
Okay, so that we hopefully won't run into this again. You've gotten all of discovery.
Pardon me.
You got all
Wow.
of the discovery. Like you got the, as far as you know, you got the police report. You have all of that. It's the video. All right. So what I will do.
Oh wow.
Oh, that is
I
awesome.
will adjourn the
That's
preliminary.
amazing.
investigation.
I could never do that.
No.
That's
Oh.
superhuman.
I
Oh
would
God,
go to
Griggsy,
the-
really?
I think I'll go to August 6th.
I would think I have like a venereal disease or something. like that.
Or at
7.
1, I'm going to set it at 1
8.
p.m. We'll just push everything else out of the way, and that way we'll be here.
Fetus?
So that'll give you.
Hey, that's I very quickly, Loud. You just reminded me. I was reading something on Reddit. Somebody in the Charlotte area, closer to the city, where Duke apparently had sent out a thing about regulating electricity during certain times. But these people had a discussion, and they think that they could regulate your air conditioner.
All right, so where my daughter lives,
Mhm.
there is a program they want you to be in where they will pretty much control your air conditioner and they'll cut off your air conditioner
Yeah.
from there. Like during certain times, it'll be cut off. You can't turn it back on.
Why would you allow that? Is that for like a huge discount or something?
Yeah, I guess so. But she told them, nah, I don't want to be a part of that.
No, of course not. But so, okay, so that's interesting that you say that, because that's what the discussion was about. And people were saying, I think that they're doing it without me even saying. They're like, it's interesting.
I get letters all the time telling me I'm using way more electricity than my neighbors. And I was like, I don't give a shit.
Well, they probably don't work from home
I
either.
can't help that they're never home and I am.
Weeks to try to get through that. Now, if you
For sure.
if there are issues like what you're talking about, short staff, whatever, and you haven't been able to get through everything, talk to one of the deputies so that they can get in contact with my office, so that if we have to push it out another week, we can just get that done without you coming up here telling me you're not ready. You know,
Fair enough.
okay.
And a question in regards to, is there any reason why that would be preferred instead of me being able to address what I got going on internally and at a hospital?
Internally.
I guess me being put on.
I heard a bunch of people talk about that, and swamp coolers in very high humidity do not do their job properly. What I understand. I could be completely wrong. Cedric's not, he's not believing any of this bullshit.
Yeah, he's just like gaffing it off a little bit.
But he's double, and then the kid's doubling down though.
Yeah, now
like
he's bringing it
doubling
up
down.
again. Like, put me in a hospital, bro. I ain't got time to look at this footage.
Right.
I need hospital food.
Take care of my illness as well as look at this discovery and handle that. So it'll probably be done in a more timely manner. There's less variables involved.
Your Honor, I'm not available before then anyway, so I'm very happy to come back in 3 weeks once he's had the opportunity to review it in the jail. And yes, as Your Honor is well aware, if this gentleman's ailments were to the level that he needed to be hospitalized, the hospitalize him. Additionally, the jail would notify their chain of command if there were any needs that exceed the jail's current ability to assist him. I've received no communication from the jail to that effect, which tells me it's not happening, meaning that the jail is the appropriate place for him. Also, Your Honor, I will, as the court knows, the defendant is in custody without bond.
Think about that.
For the defendant's demeanor in this courtroom. At the time that my office charged this case, we requested a $50,000 cash surety bond. This is a person who, while possessing a firearm, threatened to cook the sergeant, which is one of the reasons that I'm planning for the information I had against him. Additionally, Your Honor, this case originally came in as a domestic violence call, and Sergeant Haupt took the opportunity to try to protect the community by proceeding after this defendant in a manner to not only protect one individual woman, but to protect our community. And it resulted in this person possessing a firearm and not only threatening the sergeant, but threatening the sergeant's dog as well.
My rebuttal to that is, when I said cook, I made it very clear. Said it meant legally hit the courts, which he iterated on his body cam. So according to the body cam video, he is fully aware that I meant legally through the court process. And also, I believe in the police report, you sit there for a welfare check with a possible wrong domestic, which led to me being pulled over. Me being a single person in my van, not two people, which would be involved in domestic, I imagine. And then once pulled over.
What?
I wasn't looking for just
What
based
did
on
you say?
my description.
How can he be he's a one person, so how can it be he's one single person?
Yeah, listen to it again. Let's back it up.
Made it very clear. Said it meant legally hit the courts, which he iterated on his body cam. So according to the body cam video, he is fully aware that I meant legally through the court process. And also, I believe in the police report, you sit there for a welfare check with a possible wrong domestic, which led to me being pulled over. Me being a single person in my van, not two people, which would be involved in domestic, I imagine.
All right, so he said that a possible domestic DV situation, but he's just one. He's saying it really weird. He's just one person in his van, though.
So why he's saying they shouldn't be able to pull him over to investigate a domestic violence situation if he's just one person in the van.
Wait, so now we got to wait for two people that may need to be arrested, or one of the persons that need to be arrested. You have to have them together now. Is that what?
I don't think that's how it works, but you know, I'm no lawyer like this young feller with the peeing problem.
Yes. Oh, the solar thing is interesting. A lot of companies that screwed a lot of people over that don't get the benefits from it, nor can they even have it hooked up properly.
Oh, I can sell my extra electricity.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Nah.
4 beautiful months. Let's all get swamp ass together.
And then once pulled over.
Swamp ass party.
I wasn't looking for just based on my parents' description, based on who was looking up in his the talent or the lead system or whatever it is they use in the police cruiser. Make sure they iterate that I plan to use the legal system to address any transgressions or trespasses I felt was made against me. And sorry,
Go ahead.
Also, I was the one who stayed on top of these charges. I'm the one who called the court every day, stayed on top of this case. You know,
speaking of trailers, did you see what I sent you? Did you watch any of those videos yet?
I did. I started watching it.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out where exactly he's at. He called it the Jacksonville something village.
That's the new name. That's the new name. There's
he said it was going to be becoming something. And then he said it was becoming something else. He said a second name.
Huh. Yeah. There's 4 of them around. I found this channel last night. I actually stayed up pretty late watching a bunch of their episodes, and they are investors in trailer parks that are real shit.
And there's a lot of those here where I live.
And it just so happens that the majority of their episodes are all right in Onslow County, Jacksonville, North Carolina, where Mikey's at. So it's pretty interesting. I found it very interesting. But I thought it'd be even more interesting knowing if you could figure out where it's at and see if we can see Dave the Scott's place.
I arranged the court date with Miss Fink. I was the one who called the courts week after week, and they didn't have my case in, and finally they did. I was very proactive in trying to get this addressed through the court system. Had no intentions of running or trying to avoid it at all. And I think my actions were sued such.
In this matter,
Well, you haven't lived.
I'm not going to, at this point, change your mind, Mr. Stern, and I'll just put it to you this way. I don't know the facts of the case. By design, I don't. So I'm going to certainly, I hear the allegations. I hear your response to the allegations, and at some point I'll see the evidence. In terms of what I had previously heard in regard to this case, I would consider your actions on that date, at least as I understand them to be at this time, that you pose a significant risk to the public and to public safety by your conduct that day. Okay, I'm not sure about the comments. We'll deal with that. Further, as the prosecutor indicated, your demeanor in the courtroom prior to today leads the court to question whether or not releasing you, I could trust you to do what I asked you to do. This is the first time today, as we were talking to each other, going through the things, that it's been a civil conversation.
Thank you guys, by the way, for trying to help Hustle and Pickle. Remember all that great, all this great knowledge that's being bestowed upon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, got an iPhone. So guess what? I don't think it's going to happen. Isn't it with the iPhone? You got to do it online, right? You got to do it.
You need to get on your computer or something.
Yeah, that's the one crappy thing about the Apple. You got to do it that way.
With you to try to resolve the things. All I'm trying to do is get the case through. I don't know why the other days you made a determination to try to act a particular way to the court, because I'm just, like I said, I'm just here trying to get the case heard and get everything done. And so I have, based upon what I hear regarding the case, what I also have seen in terms of your demeanor in the courtroom, I have great reluctance in terms of doing that. What I will tell you is this, is that I certainly will address, so I'm going to deny your request to the extent it was a request to change your bond in this case at this time. Certainly hope they will be able to go forth on the 6th. And I certainly
Hi, Debbie.
Relook at everything on
How you been?
so you could raise the issue again. But I want you to understand that part of it is
Thanks for coming,
of
Debbie.
what the allegations here are. And I'm not saying you're guilty of them. I'm not saying any of that. But in terms of the allegations and what
Debbie
could be and is from this court's perspective, a situation where you may pose a risk to the case moving in terms of what happened here. Okay. And so all of that I have to take into, can take into consideration.
Yeah, he's not going
to
change it.
Because today was 180 degrees from before. And so I will now factor that in. And on the 6th, certainly I will take a look at anything you just raised again before the court. Okay. And I would agree, just real quick, and I'll let you. I would agree with what Ms. Hughes has said, and that is that if your medical were to an extent, our jail is excellent. I have to say the sheriff's office is extraordinary in making sure that people get the medical care that they need. But certainly,
do they
apprise them of that? And I think maybe you have, and they will make sure that you're taken care of. I just don't have a doubt in my mind, and have never had an issue with an inmate getting the care that they need. So, all right.
To two things. 4 times we've been adjourned because I asked to represent myself. I don't believe my demeanor played any roles in that. I thought it was because there was some misunderstanding as far as the courts and trying to represent myself.
Oh, no.
And then in regards to I reported this in May. It took until I got a flood in July before anything was ever followed up on or done.
Okay.
Next Debbie's gonna say, "Hey, can you chill out with all the freaking props in the screenplays? It's really bugging me with your props here, with your props, huh?"
Creed.
Debbie.
Debbie's not happy.
Debbie's not. Yeah, sure you are. Okay. Well,
I suggest that you
Gotcha.
send another request regarding the medical issue. And Mr. Stiron, I would also suggest to you, it never is an issue. I've had 2 others come through representing themselves. That is never an issue with me.
what about the
Because
cow?
you have a right to do that. Yeah, and I'm just going to let you know. that is
Easy.
not the reason.
We've never seen what Debbie
You
looks
need to
like.
go back. You need to look at what you were doing with this court for reasons I don't even, Mr. Siren, understand. So I'm not here to debate that with you. I'm just telling you that's where it was.
What I was saying was, maybe I was misunderstood. That when we went to proceed with the court proceedings, there was some misunderstanding in regards to the public defender's office representing me versus me representing myself. Since there was that misunderstanding, it was adjourned, I believe, 4 times over those matters. It wasn't because I was acted out right. I believe I came and went so fast. It wasn't even opportunities.
No, there were a couple of adjournments.
He was honoring.
But that was because you needed, there was assistance you needed in regard to what we were dealing with at a particular given moment. And so that's where the PD was standing in. But no, it was your behavior on the date that I revoked your bond. And then the other dates were trying to make sure of that. And I was, I'll just be honest with you, Mr. Tyrant, I wanted to make sure that you truly wanted to represent yourself and that your rights were protected with having the PD here. And until I was clear on that, I wasn't going to let things proceed because, well, I'll just put it to you bluntly, you got a hot head sometimes. And I wanted to make sure you weren't making that decision just because and not fully understanding what this was, because these are serious charges and potentially more that are coming. That's my whole thing on that. Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right.
One last question, if we're about to be done. In order to get a hold of your office, I can use the channel of the jail, not the mail system, because I don't have envelopes to pass information that the jail is my channel that I go through to contact you and inform you of certain things, be it whether it's documents or
I'm not, well,
or in regards to me needing more time.
I think you would have to send some type of communication, written communication to my office. I don't think there's a direct line, and I'm not even sure how that works because I usually don't have inmates contacting my chambers directly. Sometimes they will mail things, which seems to me to not be
Gotta
it.
watch it now.
Do you?
Is he
Oh,
trying to call the judge?
So he'll figure that out. He'll let you know how to get a communication up to my office.
Right.
Okay. And
Oh, you think he's trying to get the number, you think?
I don't know.
Oh,
So
Seth,
when that happens,
you've become gigantic, Satin. I love it.
That's what she said. Creed, I hate to bother you. Usually I stick to where
You're
I
not-
belong.
You're not bothering me. You're bothering Debbie, though. I can tell you that now that Satin shows up. Debbie's going to be mad, man.
Quite to the contrary, Creed. I am been retained by Miss Debbie.
Oh, by Deb. Oh,
Yep. She's come to the law office of Satin and Satin.
okay.
And she would like me to put a cease and desist because she's tired of the continued disrespect, the continued ugliness, and, by goodness, the continued juvenile behavior of one Mikey the Legend. That's right. Shame on you, Mikey. Shame on you. Mikey, keep an eye out for an email, bitch. Creed, hit my music. Dance with the devil! F you, Mikey! F you, baby!
See what you've done, Devin? Give it up for Sat. Oh, welcome back.
Whatever you send to me that I'm going to review needs to also go to the other side. But what I will do to try to make things easier, if this is okay with the people, is that once it comes to me, I will make sure that whatever you're sending to me, they're going to get a copy.
That works. Thank you.
All right. Envelopes are $1 and I have no money in my account, so it'd be very burdensome to try and buy envelopes to some.
Charge you for
money.
They're $1.
Judge got $5 in your wallet. You can give them.
No, down there.
I got about $500 in fact.
of envelopes.
Okay. Why? No, I'm just saying, if I can sell them for $1, I'll take the whole box down. Anyway. Okay. So we sorted that out. Make sure to get with them. They'll make sure it gets up to us.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Syra, I appreciate you behaving yourself this way. Because just listen, because you're coming in hot like you did before, I'm just going to let you know, with me or any other judge, that's a battle you're going to lose every time.
I can appreciate that. And my only response to that is I've never had that happen. All the other judges have ever had long brother track. Miss Fink was able to have a conversation after the court time.
She's nicer than I am.
She's a very nice woman.
She's much nicer than I am. And so she has patience. Sometimes I don't.
Fair enough.
So you got to take it as it is. All right. Thank you. You do the same.
Okay.
That a way different approach by him and the judge.
So do you think the judge was doing that on purpose to try and get him to kind of chill out and calm down and not come in all hot and heavy?
Well, like he's let him come in twice doing that and immediately just shuts him down and says, okay, well, we'll just try it again another time. Maybe the urination of blood has calmed him down a little bit.
Gross.
I'd hate to be locked up in jail and peeing blood.
I'm glad you guys I had pointed out in the chat because I didn't know that dude. I don't follow too intently. So it's a very interesting dynamic to see him come in that way then, knowing, obviously, with his past.
Interesting that he's got all this body cam footage to go through and this and the other. I wouldn't think he would need, especially with him having been there, you know, he would know what he's looking for if there was anything even to grab. But if you guys love Judge Cedric, you know, the J stands for Justice Simpson. As soon as you're done here, you're going to be sent away over to, we got a case Court Watch channel, and there is a case, Creed. I know you're an animal lover.
Oh!
I know you have several in your home. And this is a case of a landlord going after a person's, what do you call it? Emotional animal. What do they call it? Your support animal?
Support dog.
Yeah. So you really need to see that. That's coming up next at 2 p.m. Eastern over on We Got a Case. And then you'll be whisked away like a beautiful angel over to Creed and Mikey at 3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern, there will be a Judge DeSanto several cases, but one in particular, Creed, where a guy says a dude has muscled his way into his home, used his credit card to purchase a bed, and has shit in the sink and a shower.
Wow. Sometimes you got to use the sink. It's a thing.
And he wants them out. I don't know why. He wants them out, though. He doesn't like them.
Yeah, I don't understand why, but
kind of a rude guy.
Yeah.
Kind of rude.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Great. The no flirting in court express. Mama is number one.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Where's that coming from? Mama, thank you again. Mark, no longer a lurker, and Flusha.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
I don't think it's going to pair.
Is that Debbie?
It could be. Debbie. I know she's still here.
See you tomorrow, Debbie. By the way, come back at 405 East, Debbie. Oh, and if you want to, join us for members only at 5:30 for We Got a Case channel.
That's right. Lots of court intrigue, excitement, and tons of great chats and sound effects. We'll see you there for then. Until then, stay safe, stay hard, stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.